And Sean from Elmwood Park, the
Mike Scott likes me.
proprietor of the Elmhurst Cigar House, the
Liberty Real Estate Services.
and the most likely person to be the first syndicated caller in talk radio history. And Sean, this story, you have two daughters.
Yeah.
You and your wife have two daughters.
Yeah, and I'm reading it. I'm just in amazement at this woman.
This Washington Post profile on this family of 15. 15, mom, dad, 13 children, living in a well-to-do area of suburban D.C. in Prince George's County, Maryland. They have 13 children, live on the father's income, single income family.
What's he, a lobbyist?
No.
All right.
He's a software engineer. He has a job testing software.
Sure.
And it's Rob and Sam Fatzinger are the couple. Rob's income, this is from the Washington Post, never topped $50,000 until he was 40. He's now 51 and earns just north of $100,000 as a software tester. They are sending their kids to college. They are living debt-free, and they plan to retire early.
Send both of them to Congress.
I can't.
Are you out of your mind?
This is the presidential ticket right here.
Are you out of your mind? How do you do this? Get her on the phone.
I know.
Are you nuts?
We're happy to be joined by Sam Fatzinger. Sam, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hi.
Hi. Well, we appreciate you joining us. I mean, this is a story that's kind of gone viral because it is the epitome of the outlier, right? With a family as big as yours living within their means and figuring out how to do on a middle income household income to raise 13 kids, send them to college, not accrue debt, communicate with all of them, and plan on retiring early. So tell us how you do it.
Well, I have a fantastic husband who is amazing with numbers, and I grew up as the youngest of 9 on a budget and not getting everything I wanted. So when we got married and got pregnant on our honeymoon, we just never had any money. So we never got used to easy living and just always made do, always found ways to be a stay-at-home mom and use cloth diapers and buy things on sale and not go on fancy trips or buy brand new cars. It just always was the way we lived, and it's worked out. And now when the big kids are growing up and now doing great, and they're budgeting and buying good deals, and it just makes us so proud that it actually is working.
Well, so the story of buying your home in 2000, that's profiled in this Washington Post piece. Tell us that story, because this is the biggest investment that most people are going to make. So how did you, on the salaries that we described, buy a home that can accommodate a family of 15?
Well, at the time, I had just had my 7th child. We both live in the town that we grew up in. We live in Bowie, Maryland, and if anyone's ever heard of a Levitt development, we have a wonderful housing development that we grew up in, and we always dreamed of having what they call a country club. It's one of the bigger houses that Levitt ever made. And every time we have another baby, we keep looking and seeing if we could ever afford one, and really could not. It wasn't even in our means. My husband's like, stop dreaming, just be happy with the house we have. And I said, okay. And we kept looking for foreclosures and deals like that. We saw one coming up in the neighborhood we wanted to buy, and really is total God thing. Just silly things happened. We couldn't find the foreclosure company. We were trying to sell our house. Little silly things. Our kids got sick. Our dishwasher, our washing machine broke. I had my nephew over helping me, and I was telling him how we wanted to buy this foreclosure house, and he said, you should call my sister, which is my niece. She works for this foreclosure company. Maybe she knows. And it was just, again, total God thing. We got the number, the company who owned the house. We begged them to please let us get this house, and we really fought to get it. It was a long battle, but we got this great house in this great neighborhood. My mom always taught us to buy the worst house in the nicest neighborhood so you could get the best out of your stuck, and we fixed it up little by little, and it was just been a blessing.
So this 5-bedroom house that you bought out of foreclosure, you later added 3 bedrooms, as you said, fixed it up little by little to accommodate your family as it was growing.
Yes.
$150,000, you put $50,000 down, and you saved interest by getting a 15-year mortgage. And this is how you can live. I mean, this is a classic example, I guess, of how you can live debt-free.
It was funny, a couple of years ago, my husband's like, I want to give you something. And I said, what? And he hands me this piece of paper. And I said, well, what is this? I don't understand all these numbers. And he said, I paid off our house. And I looked at him with just astounding. I was like, what do you mean you paid off our house? Because, again, growing up, that was a huge deal. Like my parents, we had a sign hanging on our wall, and when I grew up, it said, God bless our mortgaged home. And it just was, such a huge accomplishment. And all I could think of, you mean I've been using cloth diapers and buying food on sale and eating low cuts of meat all this time, and you were paying our house off? And I was just so proud of him. And I also was always taught to be very humble and modest about what you share with other people. But all I could think about at the time, I think we had just had our 12th child, was people need to know that this can happen, because so many people tell me, oh, we can't afford to have another kid, or I can't afford to be a stay-at-home mom. And all I could think of is, wow, hon, you did it. Look what you did. Like, I wanted to tell the whole world that, yes, it can be done. I mean, it's struggling. It's hard. There's a lot of faith. You just have to trust that God's going to provide. And that's what I think a lot of people who read the Washington Post article don't realize. It was a total God thing. I mean, the woman who wrote the article did a fantastic job, but really there's just things you just have to go on a leap of faith and know that it's all going to be okay. And I was just so proud of my husband, and it was such a huge blessing to our family to be like, wow, look what Dad did, and what a good example to our kids. But, yeah, you might want to have that fancy phone or that nice car or those cool sneakers. But look, if you save your money and you put it aside, you'll be able to, graduate debt-free like your big sister, or one day be able to pay your house off like Dad did, just because he was diligent. He, watched what he spent, and he was really good about, making sure we saved money. So I have noticed with our older kids, and I sure hope my younger kids are the same, that they'll learn from his example, and will grow up to be good citizens who, buy within their means.
Well, Sam Fatzinger, it's an unbelievable story. Hopefully it will be something that pushes our culture in the Fatzinger family direction, as opposed to living beyond your means direction that we seem to be going, both personally and with our government. The Fatzinger family, Rob and Sam Fatzinger, are 15. This story in the Washington Post, which we'll post on Facebook and tweet out and all that. Sam, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on what you've accomplished and the model you're providing and the discussion you've generated across the nation, and continued success and blessings to your family.
Thanks so much. God bless you guys.
Appreciate you joining us. And Sam Fatzinger joined us on the Turnkey.Pro Answer Line.